Well, hello there. This is Rosa RCG Creations. How are you doing? Bringing to you that little video on, we're going to be making some sausage, breakfast sausage dumplings. I've made some pie crust, and then I'm showing you, I'm rolling out the top layer of the pie crust. You can use any pie crust you want, store-bought, whatever it is that you want to make it from scratch. I'm making mine out of rice flour, because I need to hurry up and use my rice flour before it expires. I keep mine in the fridge, and the overflow goes in the freezer, so it stays longer. So now what I'm doing is between two pieces of wax paper is I'm lining up the flour. This also helps it to roll out a little bit easier too, because you don't want it too thick. You don't want too much of a dough, because you want to bite into a layer of crust, and then the main thing is the sausage. And you can make your own sausage from scratch. You can use a store-bought one. I ended up using the store-bought breakfast sausage just because that's what I had on hand, and we didn't have any pork shoulder to grind my own. So, you know, you use what you got. Now I'm just trying to roll this out as thin as possible. I don't want it overly thin, but I want it to be pliable, and I don't want it to rip. Because I'm using rice flour, it's a little bit more delicate than using regular all-purpose flour pie crust. And I doubled my recipe so I could make 2 more pie crusts, because I'm going to make the rest of it with I'm going to stuff this with make apple dumplings. Just as a little snack. We're going to do little mini ones. Okay, so let's move this over here now. So now I'm moving this over here so I can add my top layer. Let's see if I can get this on. Whoop, I lost a I lost a piece of sausage and a piece of crust. This is my first time working with rice flour, but I bought it from Azure quite a long time ago. And I just haven't been able to use it because, I'm going to be honest with you, I've been scared to use it. But like everything else, flour has a shelf life, so you got to use it. You buy it, you use it. Otherwise, you just wasted your money. Okay, so let me show you. There it is. And then I keep on losing my one little one. I'm going to have to put this in, I'm going to have to first, okay, I've never used this this dumpling maker tool. My first time using the dumpling maker tool. But I'm trying to get over here so you can see them. I'm trying to get into frame. Okay. And I know this is breaking apart mostly because this is the rice flour. Okay. Then you want to tap it down to the shape of each little dumpling, and then just add a little bit of extra flour whenever you come up to it. Okay. Kind of want to pat it down so it can cut the shape of the dumpling. And I'm just going to trim off this excess part off the metal dumpling maker. Okay, yeah, you can see me. I'm looking to make sure that I'm in frame here, okay? It's my first time doing this. And also, it'll be a recording for future use when I use this, because I really want to start making more and more little things like this, just to be able to put them in the freezer and then pop a few whenever we're going to unexpectedly have company. Whoop, remote. Oh. Okay, come on. That's just my phone. Okay. Alrighty. Oop, there's more dough over here. You want to cut off the excess dough before you flip it. Okay. Alrighty, so this part's here. Now we're going to flip it, and you see how there's pieces of dough that's left over? That's okay. We're good to go. Because I'm just going to roll this dough and put it on the other side, because I know the other side has got some empty pieces. See that right there? Y'all see that? Okay. I can't move this right now, I'm sorry. And my tripod's still broken. So now I'm just getting little pieces of dough to put over these pieces right here. And then I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to poke it out. Okay, I think I used the wrong type of right flour. I should have used all-purpose flour because this is just very, very pliable. Basically what you want is you want dough all the way around the sausage ball. You want it to be all the way around. And I was hoping this would work. So I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to use all-purpose flour to make my pie crust, which is a lot more pliable, a lot more easier to work with, okay? And then I'm going to put these, on a baking sheet, and then I'm going to bake them. Okay, so I would say this is a temporary flaw, but that's mostly because it's me, not the tool itself, because it turned out to be a perfect little shape. And then this dough. So you're going to get a little bit of I put a little bit of sugar in my pie crust. So you're going to get a little bit of a sweet flavor to the crust, and you're going to bite into the sausage. Now these are just little snacks, little appetizers. There's nothing major to them. And they only take 7 to 10 minutes to bake in the oven. So that's another win-win right there, because it doesn't take long. I'm going to be using all this extra dough here. Honey, would you grab me a cookie sheet with some parchment? The great big cookie sheet, the great big one. Well, actually, no. Yeah, the second to the big one. I don't know where you're at, but here it's rainy and cold and wet. Raining, raining, raining. Oop. That's just a reminder. Okay. See how that's all falling apart? And it's because... Just put parchment paper on it, please. Let me get this out of the way. And let me just get these little pieces. Because I tried this once with the regular pie crust, the store-bought one, and it came out just perfect. You put the pie crust on top, put the filling on top. I just used applesauce filling. Then you put the pie crust on top, then you roll it out, and it forms exactly to the shape of the cutting, of the metal thing. Just put it there, please. Thank you, sir. But I will go ahead and continue, even though this is kind of a flop. The biggest thing for me is, does it taste good? Yeah, this is extra work, but that's only because I'm using the wrong pie crust. That's all. I wasn't too sure because, like I said, I've never worked my rice cereal. I've had it at several of my friends. Have brought stuff that they made with rice flour. And that's what got me into wanting to buy it. Plus, it's supposed to be a little bit better for you than all-purpose flour. But this, it's going to be what I call trial and error type of thing. Okay. And then, you know what, let me go ahead and I'm going to move this, grab my cookie sheet that my gracious husband was put together for me. So it's just a cookie sheet on parchment, that's all this is. Oh, and you know what, let me turn my oven back on. 320, what did the recipe? Follow your recipe on how to bake your pie crust. Whatever it is, because these are already pre-cooked sausage balls. 475 for 8 to 10 minutes. So let me turn my oven on. And you only want them to, you want to cook them to they're just golden brown. So now I'm just going to put these on my parchment lined cookie sheet. Try not to have them touch. And then get another one. And I'm not going to keep you here to do the whole thing. I'll finish this off camera. And I'm just basically, all I'm doing is I'm covering the sausage ball with the dough. It's all I'm doing. See that? Okay, I'll bring you right back when we come and do the taste test, because that's the biggest thing. Okay, we're done. I rolled them all. I ended up having to roll them all by hand. Now I'm going to be adding some egg wash just to give them a goldy look, shine as they bake. And this is just one egg scrambled. Then I'm just using my pastry brush. And this is time consuming because you can only do one roll at a time. But at the finished project, it makes it look a little bit nicer. So if you're doing this for a party and looks is important to you, this is a step you don't want to skip. But because they're rolls, they do move all over the place. But you know, with patience and with time, it'll work out. So I'm just doing this. I'm just about done. So let's get the last of these coated. And you don't have to drench it or anything. You just want a light coating of the egg wash. I'm going to do 3 of them without no egg wash, just so you can see the difference with the egg wash and without the egg wash, just for visual purposes. Because the egg wash really doesn't do anything other than that make it look a little bit more professional. Which I for sure am not no professional. Okay, so let's just do the last one here. And we'll leave this last 3 in the corner with no egg wash. Now we're going to put these in the oven. But be careful because they will roll on you, okay? So move gently. Set your timer and we'll be back for the taste test. Okay, we're back for the taste test. I went ahead. They needed to cool and I didn't want to bother getting a cooling rack. I just got another cookie sheet. Here's where they were baking. This is cold because this is a cold cookie sheet. I'm just going to leave them there to cool. And you see how they got a nice little glaze to them? See that? We'll just use this one as the taste test. Remember, when you're baking, bake this per your whatever pastry that you're using, store-bought or homemade. Whatever the recipe is, says to bake your pastry. To bake your pastry. It's nice and crunchy. Dip this in some kind of a dip, like a ranch dressing dip. Thousand Island, homemade, or eat it plain. So I think this is a cute little snack, and this would be great for breakfast. The crust is a little sweet because I did add 1/2 cup of sugar for the whole recipe, and I did double the recipe. And I wanted it a little sweet, okay? But if you don't want it sweet, when I put the directions in the box, in the description box, I'm going to say optional for sugar. It's up to you, okay? Now, remember, these are all crumbling. But then I'm using rice flour, not all-purpose flour. But I think they're good. They got a good flavor. I like just a hint of sweetness in the pastry. And then the cooked sausage. Finger licking good. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Here is my take on breakfast sausage dumplings. Use it as a breakfast meal on the go, or use it as a snack or appetizer. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye.